Good evening, everyone, and welcome. Once again, it is Friday night. It is 7 p.m., and that can only mean one thing: time for the weekly 1 hour live stream. Joining us on the old trusty shelf this week, we have the Queen Mary up here at the top. And if you look right there in the little corner, USS New Orleans is right there in front of her. We have the big USS United States. And last but certainly not least, we have Olympic with us. Let's see who is in the chat this week. We've got Moonzer, we've got Mark, we've got Anna, we've got Max. Let's see, we've got Anna, we've got Age Forgotten, we've got Karen. So we got a nice crowd this week, guys. So how has everyone's week been? I can tell you mine was super busy. It seems that's been the case for the past month. I can't seem to have just like a chill week lately. It's been one thing after another. But hey, again, we've got tonight, and we're gonna do what we do. We're just gonna have some fun. By the way, Moonzer, do you want me to still call you Moonzer, or do you want me to refer to you as Ocean Liners from history? I'm curious. Age Forgotten, the Queen Mary, old reliable, my all-time favorites as well. Moonzer's had a good week. Max is okay. Age Forgotten, busy week. Well, let's go ahead and get started. Let's get started tonight. I've got a couple of news articles that we're going to kick things off with that I thought you guys might find interesting. So I've already got the first one pulled up here. Let's see. Bry is here. Welcome, Bry. It's been a while. Hope you've been good, my friend. Hope you've had a good week. Summertime's about to kick off. Anybody going on summer vacations and all that good stuff? So let's kick off this week's schedule, or this week's stream, with this little piece of news that actually came out today. It is from USA Today. Carnival cruise ship rescues 5 people from small boat in distress near Cuba. Carnival Cruise Line ship rescued 5 people from a small boat in distress this week. Carnival Paradise conducted the rescue south of Cabo San Antonio, Cuba on May 14th, the company told USA Today in an emailed statement. The ship departed from Tampa, Florida on May 12th for a Western Caribbean cruise and was between stops in Key West and Jamaica's Montego Bay at the time, according to Cruise Mapper. The 5 people who requested rescue were part of a larger group on board the small boat, the cruise line statements read. The other occupants did not wish to join the ship, but were given food and water by the ship's team. Carnival did not identify the people rescued. The U.S. Coast Guard was alerted, and the cruise line said a transfer will be coordinated. Following the rescue, the ship continued on its way to Jamaica. The Coast Guard did not immediately respond to a request for comment. Carnival ships have rescued a number of people at sea in recent years. Carnival Radiance came to the aid of 25 people stranded in a small boat off of Mexico's coast in May 2024. Shortly after, Carnival Paradise saved 28 Cuban nationals from a vessel that was adrift in April of that year. And that is the end of the article. So let's see. Let me catch up with chat here. Moser, you already know my answer to this question. Should I go to Mobile? Yes, that is how you spell it. And absolutely, you must go to Mobile. And Max, of course, sure, you can see USS Alabama and Drum too. So yeah, you're getting 3 ships if you go there. You're getting BB-60, you're getting the Drum, and you are, of course, getting the Big U. And we're going to be talking about the Big U here in a second. So I'm gonna save what I'm going to say from when we actually get into our Big U discussion here. But first, I'm going to move on to our next article. Let's see. So we've got a cruise. I've got another cruise ship here. So here we go. Margaritaville at Sea acquires Costa cruise ship to expand brand. 3 years after launching its cruise operations to leverage the popular margarita style, the cruise line announced plans for its next expansion. Margaritaville at Sea confirmed it is the buyer of the Costa Fortuna, which Carnival Corporation's Costa Cruises reported last week would be leaving its fleet. Margaritaville Hotels and Resorts was launched inspired by famed singer Jimmy Buffett as a casual lifestyle brand. Started with retail outlets and restaurants, it today has more than 50 lodging and campsite locations. Blah, 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 blah. The cruise line was announced in December 2021 as a partnership with Bahamas Paradise Cruise Line to rebrand the operation and the cruise ship with the distinctive Margaritaville brand. The cruises started as a short trip from Port of Palm Beach, Florida. Aboard the ship, they named Margarita at Sea Paradise. The second cruise ship, which had started its career as the Costa Atlantica, entered service in June 2024 as the Margaritaville at Sea Islander. I was thinking the same thing, Anna. Excuse me, age forgotten. Yeah, those ships have. I do not know because the article. I don't think it mentions if these are like sister ships to the Costa Concordia. I don't think they are though. But if anyone wants to check on Google real quick and fact check me on that, by all means, feel free to do so. Now, let's see. Let's continue on. Over the last 3 years, we have been incredibly focused on building Margaritaville at Sea, said Christopher Ivey, CEO. The launch of Margaritaville at Sea Islander, say the names of these ships fast 3 times, was a significant moment for our company, blah, 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 blah. Built in 2003 by, I'm not even going to try to pronounce that, for Costa Cruises. Costa Fortuna will be the largest vessel in the Margarita at Sea fleet and represents a significant increase in the company's capacity. At over 102,500 gross tons and accommodating approximately 3,450 passengers, it features more than 1,340 staterooms, 13 passenger decks, expansive outdoor spaces, and an 8-story center atrium. Let's skip that part. We got something here. let's see. What does Anna say here? It says, yes, Pacifica is sister to Concordia, along with Serena. Val- I'm not going to try and pronounce those. I'm sorry. But so essentially, yeah, it is a sister ship to the Costa Concordia. Hmm. Let's see. Company has already begun to expand its scope, adding different itineraries for its ships starting January 2026. Passengers will also have the opportunity to reserve longer 8 and 10 night itineraries to new destinations, including Aruba, Caraco, Montego Bay, and New Orleans. I might be able to sail on one of these ships if one of them's coming in and out of New Orleans. Well, if it ports in New Orleans, if it's just coming to visit New Orleans, then obviously not. Ship will further create opportunities in 2026 for new itineraries, so forth and so on. But so yeah, you get the gist of that. uh, so that's interesting. I really did not know that because and admittedly I've never looked into it. Did the Costa Concordia have any sister ships, and if so, were any of them still in service? Let's see, Moonser. I think the Pacifica shouldn't be scrapped when retired just because she is the sister to the Concordia. Don't get me wrong, I don't think the ship would go through the terror of being scrapped. Well, and that's an interesting thing because we have talked about this so many times. Think about if Olympic was never scrapped and we have, a virtual a near identical sister to Titanic, still in existence. I mean, could you imagine how much money Olympic would make as a museum ship? Uh, you know, when you consider the fact that Titanic is arguably the most popular ship of all time. I mean, whoever would have that, I mean, you would be pulling in money hand over fist. Just imagine alone how much it would make as a museum ship in 1985 when the wreck was discovered, in 1997 when Cameron's movie came out. I mean, hell, in 1958 when A Night to Remember came out. I mean, it would be insane the amount of money. She may have made more, she could probably make more money as a museum ship in those years than she would have made in her final years as a true ocean liner. Replay on history. Just this time, this sister is still standing and got repurposed. It's monumental. Yeah. So I mean, imagine however 100 years from now, because you don't know what history is gonna. You don't know how things are gonna play out. If imagine if Costa Concordia would ever 100 years from now would become as popular as Titanic is, today, and you still have a ship around that's a sister to it. I mean, that's insane to think about because I think people view Concordia right now the same way people viewed Titanic a few year after Titanic sunk. Titanic was probably a dirty word to the White Star Line. When it went down, it was an embarrassment. It was an eyesore, for the company. And over time, we don't know exactly what point Titanic went from being like an eyesore, to the shipping, to White Star, to being like this mythical thing that we think of it as today. But imagine if the Concordia was to do the same thing. Aaron is with us tonight. Welcome, Aaron. How was your week? Um, having said all of that, let's transition into American Loyalist is back. Welcome, my friend. Haven't seen you in a while. Hope everything's been going good for you. Let's see what's next on our agenda for this evening. Ah, yes. Well, that's a familiar sight now. So, um, we all noticed a change to the Big U this week, particularly on Monday. Around noon, afternoonish in that time frame. Let's zoom into this picture. And this, by the way, just for reference, I tuned in and grabbed this screenshot. The screenshot is about 45 minutes old as of the time we are discussing this right now. But let's zoom in to the Big U here. And you can't see it quite as good on this screenshot, but we'll have another picture. There's a black line right here on the forward funnel. Um, it's hard for me to tell if they've actually started cutting on the funnel or if that's essentially a line they drew on the funnel indicating where they're going to cut it. But obviously, they're getting ready to do it. So, Moonzer, going back to your question, should you go to Mobile? I can't stress enough that you should go. And the sooner you do it, the better, because I have a feeling the funnels are going to come off the ship sooner than what we were expecting. And Anna's saying, yes, they have started cutting on the funnels, and that was what I thought too when I first saw the images. It looked like cut lines to me, but let's see. Good. Hopefully, this in the American law is good. Hopefully, this ends the scam coalition. Anna, I've seen up close pics of it. Yeah. Well, you guys want to see a close up picture? Because I got one. There we go. That very much looks like it's been cut to me and not just lines someone drew on it. Now this picture is from Monday. I forget why I saw this on Facebook, but it was on Facebook and I instantly screenshotted this. But that looks like a cut line to me. American law. Is anyone planning to dive to her? I can tell you I have no intentions of diving once they sink her. So yeah, if you want to see Mark says it's a spray paint line. I don't know. 'Cause here's the thing, if it's a spray paint line, why did they why are we still having like, look right here, there's no black here. There's no black here. All essentially all where the red is still there. There's nothing, those parts are not altered in any way. And this might actually be what gets me off my butt and certified. Well, Anna, from what I understand, they're sinking it in shallow enough water to where essentially newbie divers can go to her. Why does it have acetylene marks from the torch? I do not know, Aaron. I'd be lying to you if I told you I knew. But here's my thinking on this. Um, it would not shock me at all if the funnels are gone within a month or so. And I was really hoping that it would be pretty much the last thing they do. That way we could see the ship as she's intended to be, for as long as possible. But for those of you who do not live on the Gulf Coast, hurricane season begins June 1st. And I do not know this for sure, but I'm thinking that they may want to get the funnels off before we get into the heart of hurricane season. So that may be why they're trying to do this now. I don't know for sure. I am simply speculating. Uh, let's see. Age says, if anything, land-based museum, I would because it's keeping her alive. I rather remember her as she remember her as ugh. I rather remember her as what she once was than the gravely look she'll be beneath the waves. Age, this is becoming too grave. I was hoping they would have held on longer. And I think those vertical lines are supports, and they are cutting in between them. That's definitely a possibility. Moons are kind of the SS American Star when a helicopter chopped a hole in it. Yeah. So um, that's my speculation, guys. I will not be surprised at all within the next month if the funnels are removed. So, what do you guys think? Um, I was really, like I said, I was hoping till after hurricane season. Hurricane season actually runs through the end of November. And here's the thing. Um, I'm born and raised in Louisiana, been here all my life in South Louisiana. I know all about, hurricanes. Typically speaking, and I know the people in Mobile, they are just as familiar with these hurricanes as we are here in Louisiana. As a general rule of thumb, I typically don't start paying attention to the tropics until mid-August. You can get hurricanes in June and July, but they are rare, and it's very unusual to have a major Category 3, 4, 5 hurricane in June or July. When mid-August hits, like I said, that's when I really start paying attention. So I am guessing, assuming, speculating that they're going to try and get them off before then. Uh, let's see. Aaron says, I heard a rumor that an Enigma or maybe a boiler will be saved. Any info? I have not heard anything about that, Aaron. But here's the thing. I made a post about this on the YouTube channel Monday, and somebody asked me if both funnels are going to be saved. I keep hearing conflicting things about this. I've heard only the forward funnel. Then I've heard that both funnels are going to be preserved for the museum. So I don't know what to think right now with that. And if anyone is planning on going, I would also recommend going very soon. Yeah. American Loyalists. Ever seen the videos of the people who went on the SS American Star? No, American. I have not seen those. Mark, I also hope they keep the engines. Aaron's, hey, Mark, sure looks like a cut door on the bottom. Well, there are definitely access doors on the funnels. I've seen them. If you go back and look at some of my drone footage that I've put up on the channel, at least on the sides of the funnels, you can see access, doors that were originally built on the funnels. Let's see. Okay. So that's what we have. As far as the big U, I've not seen anything yet about when they're going to remove the radar mast either, because we know for sure the radar mast will also be preserved for the museum. So, yeah, I'm definitely not going to dive to the wreck, but as soon as the museum is open, you know I'm going to be there. So. So we're going to switch gears here a little bit, unless you guys have anything else about the Big U that you guys want to add to the discussion. So let's see. And I haven't heard anything about engine parts coming out, but it's possible. I think they may be using the funnel openings to get the bars and stuff out intact. I know those are being saved. Okay, good to know. I hope the museum gets busier than the diving port. I think that would be a given, because it's for the simple fact that uh, not everyone is going to want to dive to the show. It's a whole lot easier for people, and some people just physically can't do it. So the next best option, of course, is to go and see the museum. I am definitely going to go see the museum. I'll probably go see the museum multiple times. The cool thing is, since it's going to be in Okaloosa County, to the east of Okaloosa County is Escambia County. That's the first county you cross into Florida if you're traveling from Alabama on I-10. In Escambia County is Pensacola, and the National Naval Aviation Museum is in Pensacola. It's on a naval base. It's free to get into that museum, and it is an excellent museum. I've done videos about that museum on the channel. So you can, if you're a museum nerd like me, you can make a couple of days out of going to those two particular counties. You can go to the National Naval Aviation Museum. Then the next county over will be the Big U Museum. So yeah, fun times. Let's see. Matt is here. Hello from Lake Charles. Huh. Haven't been to Lake Charles in a bit, but that may or may not happen soon. Which brings me to something else. I'm actually planning a little road trip tomorrow. Something has come up today that may or may not prevent that road trip, but I bought an audiobook in case I do end up going that I was planning to listen to. That audiobook is Titanic related. And it's one I've never read before. Uh, Archibald Gracie's book that he wrote not long after the sinking. It is called, let me make sure I get the title correct. I do not want to say it wrong. Let's see. The Truth About the Titanic by Archibald Gracie. You guys know we talked about Archibald Gracie. It was either last week or week before. But anyway, if I do end up making this trip, I'm planning to listen to that audiobook on the way because I've never heard said book before or read said book. What's significant about that book is he wrote it in less than a year after the sinking, so it's still very fresh in his memory. And remember, the ship sank in April of 1912. Gracie becomes the first adult survivor to pass away as from the excuse me, from the sinking. Or Gracie dies in December of 1912. He never even finished proofreading the book. The book came out the following year, and yeah, like I said, he never got to finish proofreading the thing, so it came out as is. I have read Lawrence Beasley's book. So this will be, so yeah, I'm going to get to this book eventually, no matter what, because I've been wanting to get into it for a long time. But now I have it, and I will get into it tomorrow if I end up going on this little road trip. But I wish Steve was here because I'm about to show you guys something that would really grind his gears. So while on iTunes, and that's where I bought the audiobook because I have iOS. You search for a book, be it a book you read or an audiobook, and they always give you different versions of it. Ozzy, when are you going to read your new book? Well, hopefully I'm going to start on it tomorrow, Ozzy. But yeah, I come across a couple of different versions of this book, and man, I wish Steve was here because you guys are going to really I'm gonna just show it to you guys. Uh, let me know when you guys see it. You can't unsee it. Hey, oh yeah, Steve is definitely missing. Mark sees it. Moonzer sees it. Max sees it. Uh, well, Matt, the funnels are different, but that's not the only thing. Took the letter plates off. Well, that's one thing they did. Age forgotten sees it. Ozzy sees it. Anna sees it. Oh my. When I even posted this in Discord, I was just like, why? Moons are those Maury funnels? I'm guessing you mean Mary. Moser, that's not only the Queen Mary's funnels, that's the Queen Mary. Look at the front of the ship. That is the Queen Mary. And you notice, look, they photoshopped the name Queen Mary off the bow of the ship. And they don't even have the name of the book correct. They got Titanic, A Survivor's Story. That's not the title of the book. The title of the book was what I just read to you guys. So let me pull it back up. The truth about the Titanic. And I went on to Encyclopedia Titanica to verify that I have the name of the title of the book correct. It is called The Truth About the Titanic. Why does the anchor look awful? Well, here's a better question. Why is it looks like she's moored in the middle of the ocean? Look at the line, but yet the anchor is in place. Yeah, someone had fun playing with Photoshop, it looks like. Yeah, this is so cringe. This is like the movie Titanic 2. I know you guys remember that. Age right on the money. Oh my goodness, yeah. Like the Titanic 2 movie, they used the Queen Mary for the Titanic. Yeah. So everyone remembers that horrible movie called Titanic 2. It is not a sequel to James Cameron's Titanic. It is the name of the ship in the movie. It takes place in modern times, and they've built a new ship. They call it Titanic 2, and it's the Queen Mary. And that's exactly what we're seeing right here. This, guys, is the Queen Mary. That is not Titanic. There's so much wrong with that, Moonzer. That's what I first thought. Yeah. I was wanting Steve to be on here so bad because I think he would have pounded his head on the wall if he saw this. So anyway, this is not the version of Archibald Gracie's book that I bought. The version of the book that I bought has the proper name of the title on the book. Anna, no more Discord before coffee. Did you spit your coffee out when you saw that, Anna? Max, oh yeah, let's comment that. Oh, yeah. They did a really lazy job. Absolutely. I mean, you pictures of Titanic, as far as I understand it, with the exception of Father Brown's photos, are in the public domain because they are well over 100 years old. And yeah, it's not like you can't take a real photo of Titanic and put it on here. Why did they put this image of the Queen Mary on here and call it Titanic? Mark, I have the book. It's from 1913. Yeah, you're talking about Archibald Gracie's book. Matt, they could have at least put Olympic. Oh, no. Honestly, Matt, I would rather them even get it more wrong and put the Queen Mary than put Olympic. I don't want Olympic on this because you know what's going to happen. The switch theory people are going to see. I told you, more proof. They were switched. That's what's going to happen if you put Olympic on there. So no, do not put Olympic on here. Matthew Mahoney, welcome, Matthew. They could have at least put Titanic's name on the bow. They could have at least put Titanic in the image. Yeah, you guys got it. Haha, they will get confused. It would happen. Yeah, you know the switch theory people would be all over that. So anyway, I just could not resist showing this to you guys. I thought it was absolutely hilarious when I saw it, and I wanted to pound my head at the same time. But having said all that, since we mentioned Olympic, let's do this. Let's see. Here we go. What do my eyes see here? None other than Old Reliable herself, guys, Olympic. Again, she is joining us on the shelf here this week. Thought we would have a little Olympic discussion for a minute. So, for those who may not remember, Mark, I knew it. I was waiting for Mark to say, actually, Mark, I was waiting for you to say yay Olympic, but you just said yay because normally you always say yay Olympic. I got your, I got your little thing there memorized. But anyway, to love, oh yeah, the most definitely love Old Reliable. Who doesn't love Old Reliable? Come on. But anyway, speaking of Olympic, guys, two very significant events in Olympics history happened this week. Does anybody know which two events I am referring to? Two specific events. You know, Olympic had a lot of big events in her career, but it's an uncanny coincidence that both of them happened in the same week. Not in the same years, not even in the same decades, but in the same week. Let's see. Anna asks, the lightship collision. And the answer, Anna, is yes. This week, in fact, we are, yep, and Mark has it as well. So we're recording this, we're live on May 16th. On May 15th, 1934, was the day that the Olympic accidentally rammed the Nantucket lightship. She was coming, it was off the shoals, and it was a heavy fog. Both ships were sounding their fog horns, but unfortunately, they just couldn't see each other, and it was too little too late. By the time Olympic was coming out of the fog and saw the Nantucket, she was too close. Well, actually, Stuart wants to know how you collide with a lightship. I'm explaining it right now, actually, Matt, so stay tuned. Again, heavy fog. Both ships are sounding their fog horns. Neither one can see the other until it's too late. By the time the Nantucket lightship comes into Olympic's view, there's no way possible for Olympic to get out of the way in time. From the Nantucket's point of view, by the time Olympic comes into view, The Nantucket ship is anchored. The engines are off. There's nothing they can do to get out of the way in time. So, the Nantucket ship is, like this. Olympic comes and smacks her right in the middle. And of course, sadly, there was some loss of life on the Nantucket lightship. The people that were above on the upper decks, they had a shot at survival, and a number of them did survive. As far as the people below decks, unfortunately, they just they didn't have a chance to even try to survive. Most absolutely, Anna, absolutely. Sir, it was heartbreaking. Those poor men, absolutely. Yes, you are absolutely correct, Mark. Olympic was doing 3 knots when it hit. And let's see, Moonzer, yep. The survivors of the Nantucket had photos taken in the Green Grand Staircase. So if you guys remember, in at some point in the 20s to modernize Olympic, they painted the entire Grand Staircase in this greenish color, and it ruined it, in my opinion. I mean, I get why they did it. They were trying to modernize the ship to keep it relevant, to keep her going longer, but it just looked terrible. Age forgotten. I hated that green staircase. Yeah, Mark Puke Green. Matt Seaweed Green. No, it wasn't Seaweed Green. Inside joke between Matt and myself right there. But yeah, and if you recall, it wasn't even a year later when Olympic was finally taken out of service in 1935. I don't think I've seen it. It was like 70s puke green. I don't even know how to describe the color green that it is. I think um, Honor and Glory did a video on this this week. I think they put it out yesterday. In fact, I don't know if it's in that video, but I've seen a video recently where they showed the color of the green on the grand staircase, and it might be an Honor and Glory's video, but don't hold me to that. I don't remember for certain. Moons are personally love the green paint. Really? Okay. Well, to each their own, I guess. Mark, yes, it was Honor and Glory. Okay. I mean, to each their own, Moonser. It did nothing for me. But Matthew Mahoney, Georgian green is yeah, you are absolutely correct, Matthew. In the video, they say it's Georgian green. You're absolutely correct. But so yeah, I mentioned there were two major events in Olympics history that occurred this week. We just discussed one of them, which was the Nantucket collision. Does anybody know what the other big event was that happened this week in Olympics history? I'll wait and see if anybody gets it in the chat. Matthew Mahoney, you got it again. Let's see. Olympic rammed and sunk U-103 on May 12th, 1918. Yep, and that was Monday this week, by the way. And HMT Olympic, not RMS Olympic. No, Mark, it wasn't the Hawk collision. Matthew got it right. H forgotten the U-boat incident. Yes. But real quick, does anybody know the date of the Hawk collision? Anybody know the date? No age, not RMT Olympic, HMT Olympic. Oh, and here's Olympic at nighttime. Does anybody know the date of the Hawk collision? Now we all know this. It happened before Titanic sank. So Matthew Matthew got it again. I said, oh, you did. Yeah, Mark, I saw that. I saw you said yes to the sinking. Uh, where was Matthew's comment? There we are. September 20th, 1911. And yeah, Moonser, you're close too. 1911, September of 1911 was the date of the Hawk collision. Matt asks, what does HMT stand for again? His Majesty's Transport, because Olympic was a troop transport ship during the war. So yeah, excuse me, May 12th, 1918 was the day that Olympic struck and sunk U-103, making Olympic the only merchant vessel in World War I to sink an enemy vessel. How cool is that? And of course, Olympic's war service is where she would get the nickname Old Reliable. But speaking of ships that served in World War I, I've got another one for you guys. Of course, this video isn't quite as long. This ship also served in World War I. Anybody recognize this ship? Now, this will be a much shorter video. Mark's got it. Aquitania, the ship Beautiful. What roles did Aquitania serve in World War I? Anybody know? And of course, Aquitania would go on to be the last four-funneled ocean liner in existence. Age forgotten, love this ship. Absolutely. Of course, everyone loves the ship Beautiful. Mark, hospital ship. But bonus question, did Aquitania also serve as a troop transport at any point? I will wait for answers. Yeah, this was the craziest thing, though, that I found in World of Warships. Just moving around on the map and just randomly coming across Aquitania. Buddy, haven't seen you in a while, buddy. Max says yes, in World War II. Buddy, how have you been, my friend? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope all is well. So yeah, we were just talking about some major events in Olympics history, and just taking a quick look at Aquitania here. So let's see. So I want to go back to Olympic just for a minute. We may just replay the Olympic footage, and I may just close out the stream chatting about Olympic. Yes, Matthew, that is correct. Let's see. Olympic was torpedoed by U-53 on September 4th, 1918, but the torpedo failed to explode. Olympic was like Chuck Norris in World War II. The torpedo knew when the torpedo realized which ship it was about to hit, it's like, I ain't blowing up. Then U-103 thought it was going to be a hot shot and try to sink Olympic. Olympic's like, nah, we ain't playing that game. I'm going to sink you. Olympic had cool suites put in during the 1943 refit. I think you meant like 1920s refit, Moonser. She was gone by 1943. The other guy's just talking. Okay, no, you're good, Aaron. You're good. Let's see. I want to go back. We're going to go back and replay the Olympic footage, and we're just going to finish the night looking at Olympic. Yeah, definitely not 1943. I'm pretty sure that was a typo. But let's have a little Olympic trivia to finish out the night. What do you guys think about that? So we talked about some of Olympics collisions. Does anybody know how many collisions total that Olympic? Yeah, there. That's what I was waiting on, Mark. Yay, Olympic. That's what I was waiting on the first time. Does anybody know how many collisions total throughout her career Olympic was involved in? I'll hang up and listen. So we've already covered some. Anybody know the total amount of collisions she was involved in? Of course, I got to give a shout out to Milan for making this Olympic footage for me. I love showing this off every now and then. Buddy, you gonna leave? No, buddy. I saw what you were. I saw you. I'm glad you were able to make it. Mark, she hit a dock pretty hard too. Max, yeah, 3 question mark. Yes, the answer is 3. The Hawk in 1911, U-103 in 1918, and the Nantucket in 1934. You're really working hard to get A's so you can pass. Well, I hope you get those A's, buddy. I hope you pass. How many years did Olympic? How many years did Olympic have through, at sea? What was the total amount of years Olympic was in service? Does anybody know? And yes. Yep, Mark got it. Matthew got it. So yeah, 1911 to 1935. Olympic had a 24-year career at sea. And sadly, she was the only one of her sisters. I heard someone refer to it recently to Olympic as the lonely sister, which I never thought about that before. But I mean, when you think about that, it actually fits, considering, Titanic and Britannic. But just something that I thought was, I never thought about her that way before. So anyway, I had another question for you guys. What is the name of the ship? Well, actually, let me set up this question this way. So, as we know, when Titanic went on her maiden voyage, she took the title of world's largest ship from Olympic. After Titanic sank, Olympic reclaimed the title of world's largest ship. What was the name of the ship? Excuse me. What was the name of the ship that took the title of world's largest ship away from Olympic the second time? Titanic took it the first time. What ship took it from Olympic the second time? Mark, both Titanic and Britannic still exist. Yeah, they absolutely do. We could go through the list of sunken vessels that that still exist. Matt asks, Queen Mary. Nope, Matt, not the Queen Mary. Matthew Mahoney, you got it, my friend. The SS Imperator. Max, you're close, Vaterland, but no, it was the Imperator. So, there's a famous photo of Olympic with another ship It's in the 1930s. She's laid up, at I don't remember if it's at the scrapyard or getting ready to go to a scrapyard. But there's a famous ship or picture, excuse me, of Olympics on the left hand side of the photo, and there's another famous photo or a ship to the right. And Mark already knows the question or the answer to the question before I could even finish asking the question. The answer is Mauritania. So it's the famous photo of both of them next to each other, laid up. You got Olympic on the left, and you've got Mauritania on the right. Imagine if both ships would have been preserved. You've got a near identical of Titanic, and then you've got, I guess you could say, a near identical to Mauritania, or to, excuse me, to Lusitania. Because even though Mauritania and Lusitania were not built at the same shipyard, Mauritania would have been the closest thing we would have to Lucy. Yeah, Mark, waiting to be scrapped. There's also a picture of the Mauritania where the tops of her masts are cut down so she could pass under whatever bridge she needed to pass to under on her way to the scrapyard. I've seen some pictures of Olympic popping up this week it's pictures of her at the scrapyard being torn apart. I hate looking at those pictures. I can't stand looking at pictures of Olympic being scrapped. Yeah, I really don't like looking at them. Let's see what we got. SS Fort St. George hit Olympic stern when she was leaving Pier 59 in New York. I've never actually heard that before. I may have to look into that and see. It's not one that that you ever really hear people talking about. So, assuming that's correct, then you could say she's been involved in 4 collisions. Yeah, Mark, very sad pictures, age forgotten. I hate. Let's see if I can come up with. Can you guys hear me? I think the audio cut out for a second. Let's see. Let's see. Can you guys hear me? Uh, okay, I'm back. Okay, good. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what happened. My microphone just got randomly muted. I didn't hit a mute button or anything. Okay, let me see if I can think of one more Olympic question before we call it a stream for tonight. And I'm definitely ending on time because I'm starving. I usually eat before I do the stream, but I got home really late today and I did not have time to eat before the stream, so I am starving. Uh, let's see, one more Olympic related question. Here's one. So we all know that HMT Olympic was painted in Dazzle in World War One. How many different Dazzle schemes did Olympic have? Did she only have one Dazzle scheme, or did she have more than one? I will wait and see what you guys say. And Mark nailed it. Olympic had 2 different Dazzle schemes in World War One. Age was I was gonna say 2. Yeah, yep. She had 2 different ones, and there she goes, sailing off into the distance. Old reliable. All right, guys. Well, that is going to wrap up our stream for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed this. I never really talked about Olympic that much. I mean, we not in one stream. I mean, I talk about Olympic all the time, but I don't know if I've dedicated like a half hour just to Olympic. That was pretty cool. So anyway, content schedule is as always. Video of the week comes out every Friday morning, 7 a.m. Our weekly 1 hour live stream every Friday at 7 p.m. And our random video shorts are Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. All times are U.S. Central Time. So having said that, we are at the close for this week. Thank you guys so much for hanging out as always. I really appreciate it. Stay tuned. Of course, we will be back next week with our 1 hour stream. But until then, you guys have a great weekend, and you know the drill. Drive safely.